And Deuce Mo, we got another NBA Finals tidbit though before we welcome.
Yeah, man. NBA Finals tidbit. You guys know I love the NBA Finals. I've been saying it all day. I love the NBA Finals. I can't wait. This matchup here, and the more I think about it, I think this is kind of easy. I think you guys will get it. I was thinking maybe I was going to stump somebody. I don't know if I'm going to stump anybody. This is the Celtics' 22nd NBA Finals appearance this year. The Warriors' 11th NBA Finals appearance. Damian, Morgan, Deuce. Can you guys name the 6 teams that have never been to the NBA Finals?
Yeah, Minnesota.
Can you really name
OKC, Charlotte, Memphis. That's 4. How many more?
You only got 3, sir. I only put up my fingers for 3.
Wait, Charlotte, OKC, Memphis.
What? I said Minnesota.
Oh,
OKC
Minnesota.
into the finals.
Oh God! I forgot they went to the finals against Miami. Duh. Yeah.
Okay, so you only got 3.
My bad.
I
was
love
thinking of winning.
Definitely putting this on Deuce because I don't know the answer.
Damien, you want to guess here?
So where I have to like
You
feel
got
my way around a map right now. That's what I do. I'm like, okay.
I was trying to let Deuce work this out because he clearly
go
had
ahead.
a strategy. I don't know if there's something in front of him. I just wanted him to be able to work through it. I mean, Sacramento, or does this counting Kansas City and
everything franchises?
Okay, franchise.
The Kings are not on this list.
Okay. The Clippers?
There you go.
Clippers.
Wow,
Okay, so
good
that's
job.
4. We're at 4.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So 2 more.
You guys got Minnesota, the Clippers, Memphis. Who's the other one you guys said? The Hornets, right?
Yeah. Charlotte, Memphis, Clippers.
Bam, bam.
No,
Yeah, I'm too slow at this right now.
I need to do the Deuce thing and feel around the map.
I'm like, okay, let me go to Texas now. Oh, who are the other teams, Kenny?
Bam, bam. Go
I
ahead.
don't know if this counts.
Go ahead.
Do the
Say.
Pelicans count?
Correct.
Oh, good job.
Now, see, here's where it gets a little crazy, right?
Okay.
I have no clue.
The Hornets are on there twice, technically.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
when you look at it, when I went to my little thing, it said the Bobcats. Obviously, they had the whole name change with the Pelicans and the Hornets. So you count the Hornets twice, technically. It's Bobcats, Hornets, Pelicans. That counts as 2 separate ones. And the one you guys didn't get, there's still one you guys didn't get.
Is it the Atlanta Hawks?
No.
Okay, who is it?
Denver Nuggets.
Oh.
Denver Nuggets have never been to the NBA Finals. So it's Bobcats, Hornets,
Damn.
Nuggets, Grizzlies, Clippers, Timberwolves, Hornets, Pelicans.
That's a good tidbit.
It's a great tidbit because I would have never gotten any of those right.
I got
anyway.
another question for you guys.
What?
Oh, God, here we go.
Who gets there first out of those 6 teams?
Ooh.
I'm gonna say Clippers. Clippers might get there next
I
year.
mean, that's
Stop it. I'm not believing in the Clippers until I see it. You can't convince me. It's like every year, hey, the Clipper. I'm telling you, the Clippers. It's like, stay healthy then. Stay healthy. I mean, no.
I understand, but I go with the Clippers.
It's obviously LaMelo Ball and the Charlotte Hornets.
I like your Clipper. It's funny that none of us are picking the team with the MVP on it.
2-time MVP, back to back.
Yeah.
Needs help.
Needs help, guys. How's he gonna get that? Only way is to get to the finals. Sports radio right there.
What about my boy Ant-Man?
I like
Ant-Man
it,
gonna be the
man.
one?
I like it. I mean, if they get rid of Cat, they do some crazy stuff.
Oh,
maybe.
my God, you're
Can't
you
win
are
with Cat.
So petty.
No, they're gonna have to move on with Cat. It's fine, and I'll die on that hill. They will be better when they move on from Russell and Cat.
They want Rashawn Holmes and Terrence Davis for Cat.
I'm good.
I'm good. You don't want Cat here.
You're talking to an anti-Cat guy.
I would
just
not
can't get
want.
down
I
with
wouldn't
him.
want Cat here.
Deuce hates cats. There we have it.
I don't even hate Cat. I would not want Cat here.
I'd take Cat here.
Of course you would. You would take a lot of guys here, wouldn't you?
I would. We need talent.
Didn't you say when I thought I heard you guys on a show, like, I don't even know how long ago it was, talking like how you want AD here. If you could get
Oh,
AD,
yeah,
get AD. Oh, yeah, because he's like a little piece of paper that can't even stay healthy.
I
You'd
take
like
my
touch him
chances.
and he breaks and he crumples. And
I'd take my chances. Matter of
no.
fact, I wouldn't even have him play till like January.
Just part-time. Just part-time. You're gonna miss games
Aaron
anyway, so
does
it might as
now
well.
anyway. So
Hey.
what's it matter?
That's true.
Damn.
All right. We spent all this time guessing these teams. We didn't even have to bring up like Deuce has been in a wedding dress since the last time we saw him. I guess we'll have to save that for another appearance. Like if you don't follow Deuce and Mo on Instagram, their IG stories have been pretty lit over the last couple of weeks.
They're looking smooth too. Dude, that red suit. Man.
All of, like they've been living that rock star life the last 3 weeks, man.
Deuce was out here looking like the Weeknd in that red suit. I see
Oh,
you. I see
dang. You guys, I'm not even kidding. My sister and one of Deuce's actually best friends that were getting married, and we were both in the wedding, and I'm not kidding you, it wasn't a wedding. It was a 4-day extravaganza, and that's why you saw so many different outfits and so much fun. And then, you've got to pull out a song as a maid of honor, and there you go. We just performed.
It was awesome. Yeah, it was fun to watch. There was a picture that you posted, and I can't remember if it was on your feed or on your story, but I think you were in it, but your sister was in it, and she was making a face that's like, oh my God, you guys look exactly alike.
Yeah,
it wasn't like a smile or like anything normal. It was like a total like Morgan goofy face, and it was like, oh my God, that is absolutely your sister.
You guys, we have the same voice too. It's really bizarre.
I love that.
Yeah. Older sister or younger sister?
Younger. She's 4 years younger.
I got you.
Smarter, prettier, sounds better. All the jazz.
Check. Yep, that's for sure.
Okay.
Well, I'm sure this is what everybody tuned in for, but let's dive into, because you guys did something very publicly that Kenny and I did privately, and you were going through some Jaden Ivey film this morning over on your Twitch channels. Curious what your takeaways were from that.
Yeah, it's one game, and I finally got access to the stuff that you got access to, Dave, which has been fun. I've been digging into that a little bit, but today, yeah, I mean, it's one game. It was the Big Ten championship game against Iowa. There's definitely things you like, and it's everything you hear. Like in transition with the ball, the guy is amazing,
dominant,
like it's
unstoppable at times.
It's nasty. Defensively, and in that game specifically, I'm like, man, a lot of ball watching, a lot of losing your guy, but he can make up with it with his athleticism. He can get out and contest a shot, even if he gets beat. Like, I think he's got the physical tools to turn into a good defensive player. Yeah, he's not there yet.
You guys, he has the physical tools, and part of the physical tools are his wingspan, and he keeps his arms right here, right by his side. Why? I don't understand how a coach hasn't gotten through to him, be like, hey bud, those things are gonna work really well for you. Like you just got to keep them. The thought process of keeping your arms up on defense, it's hard, but he's young and he's capable, and I think he just has to be taught, and then the discipline to keep his arms up is going to make him so much better of a defender, not only in the sense of being able to deflect the ball and everything, but you think about pistols, you keep your pistols up, and then you can see out of your periph and really see ball. He's only seen man, and then he's only ball watching. It's like he's never seen both. And again, one game, it was a championship game that we watched, and the urgency and the intensity of his defense was something that bothered us. But one game that we watched.
Yeah, there was a clip that we all, I think, got tagged in earlier about. He was talking to, I think it was Mike Schmitz, about just having a sit down interview, and he was saying, I want to work on my defense. I want to be better at defense, be a two-way player. And I said, I got conflicting feelings about this, because number one, you love to see that, right? Like you love to see a guy say, hey, I need to get better on this end. I want to be, better on the defensive end. But there's a part of me that is like, defense is just about, a lot of the times, it's just about paying attention, being aware, being engaged in the game. Like I tell the kids all the time, like, it's really simple. I'm not asking you to read me a science project or give me a oral presentation of the rainforest like Reese just had to do this past week. I'm not asking for that. Just tell me what you're doing and say it over and over again. If you're in help. If you're in deny. If you're on the ball. Just tell me what you're doing. And if we get all 5 guys telling me what we're doing, now we're communicating. Now we're going on. And I get frustrated when it's like, yeah, I want to be better at defense, because that tells me that you're just not committing yourself.
Yeah,
maybe, but he's 19, 20 years old. Like, there's a lot of guys at that age who just aren't good at defense, that don't understand, especially when you're the best offensive player on the team. It's like, I don't need to lock up. Like, they need me to get buckets. When you get to the NBA and your playing time depends on whether or not you're committed and locked in on the defensive end. A lot of guys can change and understand the dynamics of that. So I hope it's the latter. I hope, and just based on how he is as a player and his work ethic from everything that I've heard and read, I believe in him that he'll turn around whatever defensive woes that he has.
Love it.
Yeah, I think too what's so tough about him, especially if he's there at 4, is a lot of people feel like he's going to be the best guy available there at 4. And if you're Monty McNair, you're in the final year of your contract. We talk about, like, the Kings, whether we like it or not, they have positioned themselves where they want to make the playoffs next year. They want to build something faster. They're not going through their whole rebuild thing. They traded Halliburton. They got Sabonis. They're trying to do something now. Mm-hmm. Does drafting Jaden Ivey help you next year? Now, it could help you for years to come, and that's probably the way you should be looking at it, right? Is, hey, you know what? This guy could be a star, whatever, however you view him. But, like, does he help them enough next year? You know, the one thing I don't think we saw enough of him at Purdue, and that could be based on the system he's playing in, is, yeah, he played off ball, but, like, they didn't have him cut a ton. When he did, he looked pretty effective. But there were so many times we're watching even that last game, and I'm like, he's just chilling in the corner.
Yeah, and there were times too. Maybe it was like part of Purdue's offense.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
But there was other times where I'm like, relocate with your guard. Your guard is driving down, like, relocate and move with him a little bit so you can get that open 3. Just, again, small things. And I've seen all of his offensive highlights, right? Like, haven't we all by now? Hopefully. It's like, they're sexy as hell. They're so fun to watch. And those are the things that attract us so much to Jaden Ivey. But then when you really break down his entire game and you go, what is his basketball IQ like? What is he like in some of these workouts that people may have with him? And how does he respond to direction and to someone telling him to change up this and do this instead? Is he doing it correct? Is he confused? What is that like? So maybe he is this high IQ player that in just some of these moments and cuts that we just saw that weren't very good of what he needed to do better at. But at the same time, like, his potential is there, and I'm excited for his future in the NBA. But when it comes to the Kings, I sit on the fence with everything, so I'm on the fence.
Listening to D-Lo and KC on ESPN 1320 KIFM West Sacramento, KRXQ HD2 Sacramento, and Odyssey Station, and driven by Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge. You brought up the concern about Jaden helping the team next year. Is there a player in this draft that the Kings could potentially select, or even if they have to move up to select that player, that you think can help them right away?
I mean, I think Paulo Banchero immediately helps you. I love what I see from him. I mean, there's still some defensive stuff with him too. I'm not acting like he's like the perfect prospect, but he's 6'10", tremendous size. He can score on you, get out in transition. I mean, he's throwing lobs. He's nice. He's powerful. I just go, God, it's something the Kings just don't have, and they haven't had for a long time. I don't know if he's gonna be there.
Yeah.
Like, does he drop out? I mean, I guess it's potential. If you believe the stuff on Ivy that maybe Houston is interested in him, or OKC, maybe Paulo's the guy that falls. But yeah, I love Paulo Banchero's game.
And I could be so wrong again about Chet, but with Chet Holmgren, I just look at his game as such a special game, right? Like there's times where I'm like, there's no way this is going to translate. And then there's other times I'm like, look at these players in the NBA that have that special type of game that translated. A short point guard in Steph Curry that changed the game forever. A guy in Jokic who played at his own pace and his own weight. I mean, obviously he lost a lot of it to get even better and become an MVP, a 2-time MVP, but still like there's something special and different about these guys' games. Could that be something that Chet has that just some people are missing out on? I don't know, but that's another guy that I think can be
Chet
can change a team.
I think Chet could help you next year too.
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing that, especially with Sabonis out there, he is so good cutting. Chet is. He's such a good cutter, and he's played with a guy at Gonzaga who could pass the ball, so he's familiar with that. I like the fact that in transition, he can hit that 3 in transition, and then defensively, there are going to be times he gets overmatched, but there are a lot of times he held his own. I mean, he really does. Going up against Banchero and Mark Williams, he did all right. Like he had a couple of nice blocks. I mean, he is a really smart defensive player. I think he's just a smart player overall. There's going to be questions about his frame, and I think those are legit. Like I don't think anyone debates he's going to have to add some weight, and he probably will. So I really like Chet, but I think for me right now, I really like Banchero.
Chet playing with Drew Timme back to Gonzaga for that Perry Ellis junior season.
I'm going to say, was he about 30 next year?
What are we going here? Perry, I mean, this guy Drew Timme, I think he played with Adam Morrison. I could have sworn something with Adam Morrison. He going back to Gonzaga again. What are we talking about? Drew Timme's a young guy. But I'm with you guys, right? Like, I love Paolo. I remember I saw him in that first game of the season. And this is the first time I really got to see him. Came on these airwaves. I told Damien, I said, Damien, I don't mean to go crazy. What I'm going to say is crazy, but I feel like I saw Carmelo last night at the Garden. That's what I feel like I saw. I know he didn't do anything throughout the season to make me feel any different. I really like Chet. I've done some deep dives into Chet. I really like his game, like his makeup too. Like he's kind of nasty. You know what I mean? Like he
surprises you.
Yeah. I like Chet. Obviously, we talked about Jaden Ivey. I like him. Ironically, the guy that maybe I need to dive in a little bit more with, because I don't feel like his ceiling is as high as the other ones, is the guy that's probably going number 1. And that's Jabari Smith. I think Jabari is just solid. Like, you know what you're getting. I don't see like all-star potential with him, but I like him. The whole point of all this is, I think worst case scenario, the Kings stay right there at 4. You're getting a good ball player. Like, I think they're in a great spot. I think they're in a great spot to get anybody that's there at 4.
And isn't it great to have some faith in this GM too? Like, and not feel like, oh man, are they going to pick a Bagley? Like it is. And I know that I'm not even trying to be sarcastic when I'm talking about it, because it's not funny and it's sad how long that has like now set back this organization and everything. But this is a GM that has had 2 decent draft picks come through Sacramento, 1 traded away for a 2-time All-Star. I don't know. There's just a lot more confidence going into this one. And you're right, Kenny, that number 4 pick, it's like, you're going to get a hooper, right?
Right.
How important is like fit though with this pick? Because we opened up talking about Jaden Ivey. We've been diving in talking about Jaden Ivey. He is a name that so many people are talking about, but it's also like, oh, you just mentioned the picks from Monty McNair. Like, cool, Tyrese, Davion, and Jaden Ivey. They all have something in common. It's like, and it's great that you turn Tyrese into Domantas Sabonis, but how big of a concern is drafting another guard, or how big of a concern is fit for this draft pick?
I go back and forth on it, because I've always been like, hey, just draft the most talented guy. I mean, if you get to 4 and it's like Ivy and Keegan Murray are available, I think Keegan is probably the better fit for next year. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to debate like the fit for next year, right? He's got size, the wing spot, he can shoot it, good defensive player. But like long term, how do you project it?
Yeah.
And in this league and in Sacramento, there's you need talent. Talent wins.
And
So-
even having that asset could be so valuable.
Yeah, it just puts you in this predicament, and this is the path they chose, right? Like they chose, like they're gonna push to try to get into the playoffs and contend for a plan, be a playoff team, and now they're in a situation where they're gonna have a serious debate between fit and just talent, and I don't know, like I need to still dig more and more into this draft over the next 21 days to like say, oh, this is for sure what direction I think they should go. But I think you have to go with the guy that can give you the most upside. And that's tough because it could be Jaden Ivey.
Yeah.
And that may not help you next year a ton.
Could be Shaden Sharp.
It could be. And by the way, I heard you guys talking about that earlier. There is a way you can see some of his stuff on that link that you guys have. So
Man,
I'll show you. I'll shoot you a message.
Please do.
Please do. I was like Kenny. I was like Kenny too. Like I'm in the expensive store. I don't want to break anything because this stuff isn't mine. Gotta make sure I get to the right spot. Are you leaning towards a particular player right now?
Oh God, not me.
I mean, I think for me, it's just like I'm more hoping that Banchero is going to be there.
Okay,
and so it's more of a hope thing. But I'm kind of in the Kenny boat where I think you're going to have a decent choice at 4. I'm not saying you can't get it wrong because of course you can. We've seen it a ton in Sacramento, but I think there's some pretty good options in this draft. And even if you do trade down, I do like Dyson Daniels a lot. We got to see him last year. I called a couple of his games. I know Morgan saw him more than I did because she went to Vegas and saw the G League Ignite. His growth as a player from the first time we saw him till later in the year. I mean, he had a game in Stockton where he was just absolutely dominant, like everywhere. And I'm not going to like pretend like he's like some explosive scorer. He just does everything well. Just a smart player, defender. And you see him, he's starting to rise up draft boards. And I put some stock into him, just high basketball IQ guy. And he was in a system with the G League Ignite that I believe in because they're playing with some veterans. They get that NBA coaching. Jason Hart's a really he's not only played the game, he's obviously coached in the college game, and then now with the G League Ignite, it's just a professional program.
The type of attention that G League Ignite gets in the G League is just tremendous.
And then you hear that he's close to 6'8",
right? And physically, he's grown too. So not only his game and his IQ, but physically as well. But for me, I think Deuce actually gets frustrated after every single year when we get to the draft and like, who do you want? Who do you want? I don't want anyone at that point. Like I'm always just like, pick for me. But this is why, you guys, because I'm also the type, sure, soft, whatever you want. I don't care. But the other thing is I'm the type that wants to have all the homework done. All the homework is watching at least an entire season of them, which I don't have time for an entire season. I can watch games, I can watch highlights, but then I still don't feel like I should be an expert and should be telling people what I think. Sure. And then on top of that, though, I really wish there was a way for us to be in those interviews, in those workouts, and seeing so much more of how these guys react to effort and to, like I already said, being told a different direction and what to do next. Those things matter so much and show so much about someone's basketball IQ to me that, like, yes, I feel like I don't fully know any of these draft prospects, even though I read and watch every single thing I can.
I think the other thing too is the reality is we're going to 3 years, 4 years from now, there's going to be a guy who goes 15, 16 or 17th or something that was just better than some of the guys in the top 7.
And that too.
And we're like, what? How did we miss that? It's like, well, because we're paying attention to the mock drafts and then we go watch it. We're not going to spend time watching 500 prospects. All right. I'm not
or watching them since they were 14 years old.
I mean, Mike Schmitz is watching Chet when he was born, like shooting a Papa shot or something.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty insane. The guy's like, yeah, I'll never forget when he was dunking on that Nerf hoop when he was 7 years old. I'm like, how do you know this stuff?
He was 6'8", then.
Yeah.
Well, look, the other thing about it, guys, and this is what I try to remind everybody. It's like Jim Moore once said to us.
You think you know, but you don't know, and you never will.
Come on, man. The draft is inexact science. We are looking at 17, 18, 19-year-olds and saying, and some people are saying, oh, this is what he's going to be when he's 27. Like, how could you do that?
Thank you.
How can you do that in life, let alone basketball, where in a competitive thing? Like you got a good idea, but really at the end of the day, it's nothing but an educated guess. And you're just gonna cross your fingers and you hope everything works out. So
wait, Kenny, is that what I should just state whenever I pick a guy then? This is an educated guess, and this is my decision. Okay.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Put it right there and do that. Except if it's Shaden Sharp, then you can say, yo, this dude right here. This ain't no educated guess. This is a fact. What my man say? This is not a prediction. It's a spoiler.
I love that.
Okay.
Yeah. Here's the thing on Sharp. Do you think that McNair would take a swing like that?
I don't know. There are questions with Sharp. I joke about it a little bit, but I don't know. The kid's 17, 18 years old. Like,
yeah,
he may not even love basketball in 4 years. So who knows?
So weird.
I don't think he will. I might. I don't think Monty McNair will.
Then you get the pick wrong, and
you all bought it. You all bought it. Hook, line, and sinker.
you all bought it. I love that Morgan thinks she has to be an expert to say what her pick is. Like, oh, I've got to be an expert to tell you. It's like, no. Have you ever been to Twitter?
Yeah. No, exactly.
I don't make predictions, but that's my thing. Even on Twitter, I don't even comment. Like, you guys, does anyone else see like the basketball is life, Twitter, whatever, ball is life, whatever. And they'll always be like, oh, is this a travel or or is it, or are they good? Yeah. And I'll always have my opinions. I'll start typing it out and everything, and then I'll delete it all because I'm like, I don't feel like arguing with anyone, debating with anyone, and I think I'm right, but actually I'm not positive that I'm right. So yeah, I have a horrible mindset with all that.
That's hilarious. That's absolutely hilarious. What are you guys' thoughts headed into tonight, game one? Like, Kenny and I are super hyped for this finals. I don't know that we could have gotten a better finals matchup than the Boston Celtics versus the Golden State Warriors, and we're pretty excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited for it because I think this is probably I think Boston's a great matchup. I mean, they match up well against the Golden State Warriors. I wish Rob Williams was healthy.
Yeah.
You know, watching him last game, you're like, he's not 100%. He's limping a little bit out there. He's just not moving the same.
Yeah.
I think he's a game changer to me. If he was able to play and be like 75, 80%,
well,
I think it gets really interesting.
It gets so interesting too because of the Warriors in their lineup, right? And just Looney being out there and trying to look at, okay, we got these two big guys, obviously, and Al Horford as well. How do we defend this? They know how to defend it, but I think the adjustments would have to come along, where now it might be they're so prepared, they're ready for him to play, not play, be injured, Rob Williams, whatever he needs to do, that the Celtics are really just going to need guys like Grant Williams and Derek White to step up, not only on the defensive end like they can, but on the offensive end, they're going to have to contribute to make sure to make this like a competitive series.
And the Celtics have been through a lot in the playoffs. You think about these long series, they're banged. I know everyone's banged up this time, but Golden State's had some time to rest.
Yeah.
And I think they're playing their best basketball that they played all year. People are referencing what happened against Boston earlier this year. And hey, here's Boston's record against Golden State with Steve Kerr coaching. I don't care. This is the NBA Finals. This is not some regular season game in December. This Golden State Warriors team has been through it all. They know what it's like to play in big moments. That group with Steph, Clay, and Draymond together, they don't lose playoff series. I mean, they're legit, obviously. So I think it's going to be a tough series, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm going to give you guys another tidbit just because Deuce Mo's here. We're going to do something special here. And Deuce kind of alluded to it. NBA final games for this Warriors roster, 123 NBA finals games. NBA finals games for this Celtics roster, 0. Nobody on this roster has played in NBA finals. So that's both ends of the spectrum right there. I'm going with Boston. I love and completely agree with everything that you said, Deuce, about Rob Williams. That's a huge X factor for me. I saw the same things that you saw from him in Game 7, just kind of dragging that that foot up and down, or excuse me, that leg up and down the court. My thought is the knee isn't good enough for him to play every other day. That's why I think in the playoffs, he might have played games 5, 6, and 7. But for the most part, it was he had to be out for a game and then he'd come back. He had to be out because he couldn't do every other day. Now with this schedule, he's going to have sometimes 2 to 3 days in between games. So maybe that could help him just get through the series. That's really the big thing. The other thing about this series that I look at, and it doesn't mean that Golden State's incapable of winning, but this is the first time in the finals, maybe outside of Toronto, which they lost, where they on offense don't have a guy that they can go at and pick on. They can't try and and pick on this guy Kyrie or Corver or
That's a good point.
What's my name? Delhi. They couldn't. They're gonna, any switch that they have is going up against a very good to elite defender, and we saw that against Toronto. They struggled. They were down 3-1 in that series. So I don't know. It is a good matchup for Boston.
Kenny, you mentioned your tidbit. How much do you think experience can actually benefit the Warriors, or do you feel like in this series it's just different?
Well, I said this about, what was it talking? Maybe it was the conference finals or whatever. Yeah, it was Dallas and Golden State in the conference finals. And I used the analogy of boxing, where when somebody would face Floyd Mayweather, they talk all this stuff about facing Floyd, but the fights that you've had, even if they were title fights that you've had up until that point, it wasn't the same level of fighting Floyd Mayweather with all the pomp and circumstances that you get with Floyd. So he would always talk about how I've been here. Like, I'm used to all this. It's not a surprise to me. You get out here, the lights are a little brighter. There's more cameras than you've ever seen. There's more people, more camera phone. Like, it's just like, whoa, like this is a little different. And it would take them time to adjust. And by then, Floyd is up 7-1 and it's over. I kind of feel that could be the case for this NBA Finals. Warriors been here. They know the production that is an NBA Finals game. She won't be there this time, but Rihanna, Jay-Z, Beyonce on courtside. This is a big deal. It's the real deal. They're used to that. They've seen it all.
I love it.
Yeah.
She won't be
marrying Nia Long. Ain't nobody checking for that.
Well, what you mean? Ain't nobody checking for that?
Checking for that? Like their coach is marrying. Like their coach is marrying their crush.
Hey, hold on. Damian, come on. Like I all due respect, I love Nia Long. These kids might not even know who Nia Long is.
That's cap.
What has she done in the last 15 years?
Oh, nothing. But you don't need to know what she's done in the last 15 years.
We love Ashanti. You think Jason Tatum? Well, they might know Ashanti. Do you think they know Ashanti had songs, or is she just an IG model? Maya? You think they know Maya? No. The fact that you even put Maya and Ashanti on the level of Nia Long is baffling. What you talking about?
Wait, I honestly don't know much about Nia Long. I obviously only know who she's married to.
The gorgeous.
She was everyone's crush for what, a solid 5-7 year period.
Okay,
I'd give her 10. I just played safe.
Yeah, I mean it was. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like she was. Ooh. Yeah, she was on the Fresh Prince. She was Fresh Prince's girlfriend for a little while.
Okay.
Love Jones.
Yeah, she did.
She was everywhere. Soul Food everywhere you went. But yeah, really won't be there. She's a mommy.
Oh,
have you taken have you taken the black movie test that's on social media right now?
I have it in my favorites. I got to go through there and get my.
I did see that the other day.
I think there's 50. I don't think I'll get 50.
I got 48. And the 2 that I didn't get, I've never heard of.
Yeah, it's like 36. Number 36. I think nobody's ever heard of that movie.
You had 48 out of 50?
I had 48 out of 50. Yeah,
I'll probably get 45.
I just don't watch movies.
You're not a movie person at all. He's never even seen Love and Basketball, for God's sake.
Some of those.
Well, you got to watch.
I know. I need to watch that. I know.
I mean, some of those movies, like Baps, like that, just showed up on BET one day and it was like, I don't have
I had
anything.
the VHS. Well, my mom had the VHS. I watched the movie. Babs was good.
That sounds right. That absolutely sounds right. Not that you have to be an expert to do this, guys. But who are you picking?
I'm going to say Warriors in 6. I think the Rob Williams factor is big. And I do think, like Kenny was talking about the experience, I think that matters more in a game 1 of the NBA Finals.
Sure.
You know, it just feels a little different. But
LeBron James filling out game.
Yeah, I mean, Boston's been in back-to-back series that went 7 games with a lot on the line against great players. So I don't know that they're going to be rattled in a series. What's that?
That could help, though.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think that helps them in the series in general. I just think game 1 of the NBA Finals, it may feel a little different tonight. I mean, the Warriors' first NBA Finals game at Chase Center, they've had some time off. Like, it may take a little bit of adjusting, and maybe that's only a first half. Maybe that's a first quarter for Boston. They get settled right in.
So because I hate this question and
do it.
Deuce
Do it, you coward.
No, I'll do it. I'll do it. This is not an educated guess. This is not anything except me going off of what I said before the postseason about the Celtics. And I said I wasn't a believer. And then I started to believe. And why should I not believe in them right now? So I'm just going to go Celtics. Let's go to a game 7 because that sounds delicious.
Celtics won a game 7 in San Francisco.
Wow.
How dramatic.
Wow. Well, you know, they do lose game 7s at home. That's not above.
That's true. They've done that before.
Facts.
So
Here's a tougher question. Who's the best player heading into tonight's game 1? Who's the best player on the floor?
Still Steph.
Oh,
I'm still going Steph.
Okay.
I mean, if you go all around, like you're going to start thinking the emergence of Jason Tatum, right? Because of just his lockdown defense and then the way that he is capable of scoring. But until on this biggest stage, which Kenny gave us the tidbit, 0 finals, until he can show on the biggest stage, brightest lights, that it's him, then it's Steph.
Yeah, I'm still going with Steph. And I think Steph, I know people are like, defensively, he's gone a lot better defensively this year. He's made a lot more defensive plays. I think
Mike Brown's probably helping.
Shout out Mike Brown. Shout out Mike Brown for putting him in a nice position. But yeah, Steph has continued to work on his game. And I think Jason Tatum, I mean, he's going to be there. I mean, like more by the end of the series, we may be saying Jason Tatum was the best player in the series. Yeah. He's the best player because of his ability. I mean, he has some big shots in that last game too. I mean,
he did.
Obviously, the turnovers can be an issue with both teams. Turnovers could be an issue with Tatum, but you've seen him in big moments and not look rattled. Yeah. So I can't wait to see him on this stage.
Yeah, I went with Tatum because he has the strap right now. He's got the KCC championship belt right now, so he's got it. He's got to be the best player in the series. This is a title match. Steph can take the strap off of Jason Tatum if he gets the series victory, but
turn into 24/7 title here in this series.
But right now, today, I've got Jason Tatum as the best player. But I like I told Damien, it feels a little slimy for me to say that. I feel a little disrespectful saying that. I want to apologize to Steph right now because I mean no disrespect by saying that.
Damn.
I want to point one thing out before we let you guys go. This is something I just have to say out loud because it come to this realization over the last few days, and I find it's funny, and I just want to share it with somebody.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure Al Horford's going to the Hall of Fame.
Ooh.
Like Al Horford on his career is like 13-8.
Yeah.
But he is like the most reliable human being perhaps in existence. And now he's at this moment in the NBA Finals where he's back with Boston. He's like been such a difference maker for them. I'm sitting here looking at this like he peaked at 18.6, 17 and 10. Yeah.
Well,
you got to include the Florida stuff too.
Is the last team to go back to back? I think it was his Florida team. Him and Joakim.
That was a legit ass team.
Yeah, I mean, so if he gets an NBA champ, he might be in there anyway. But if he gets an NBA championship, It's a fact.
Al Horford.
I think that's been one of the most surprising things of the entire postseason is his. I mean, we literally had an Al Horford game in the playoffs. What did he have, like 35 in a game?
But it's not only that we have an Al Horford game, he's been pretty consistent with his game throughout the postseason. I mean, you're seeing this guy become this rim runner. He's getting a rebound,
He looks
sprinting
young.
back. I mean, yeah, it's just been incredible what we've been seeing from him.
By the way, Damian, I got 47 out of the 50. I haven't seen Moonlight, Just Another Girl, and Get Out.
Some of the new
Wow.
ones.
I don't know where to begin with that. So we'll say goodbye to Deuce and Mo because you guys got a watch party tonight beginning at